Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ask Evan. Now I've been doing one of these in an incredibly long time. Oh my god, I said that so fast. I'm so sorry. What the heck was that? I haven't done one of these in a very long time. And so I decided, why not, instead of asking on Twitter or anything, ask them on my YouTube channel in the community tab. If you didn't know that was there, sadly you gotta ring the bell. So be sure to ring the bell for next time if you wanna be in the next one. This is an honest Q&A. Let's just jump into it. The most thumbs up question. What truly made you wanna make a career for yourself in the UK, considering many people would wanna go to the US? And here, you're leaving the US. Something must have sparked an interest, right? Also, did you go to the UK with the intention of becoming a national, or was that a later decision? Now, when I read this question the first time, I was a bit confused because those things to me are completely disjoint. Like, what you want to do with your life shouldn't really revolve around what other people are doing, you know? If you're constantly looking at, well, other people are doing this, you're not really gonna be following your own dreams, are you? You're gonna be following someone else's. That sounds wanky and deep as crap, but I mean, for reals. No, I wasn't considering what everyone else is doing, and also it's pretty subjective to say that everyone's coming to the US. Not in the current climate. I don't know, there's a wall coming, I don't know. Also, in terms of did I have the intention of coming to the UK forever and becoming national? Absolutely not. If you've been watching my videos for way too long, maybe in the top, like, I don't know, 5,000 subscribers or whatever when I first started making videos, I was just coming to the UK to study. You know, I came here because I thought, as an American, I'm never going to get another opportunity to live longer than 2 weeks outside of my home country. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, it's almost impossible to get a visa and to move or do anything like that. It's just, honestly, it's very difficult. And so I thought by studying for a year in the UK, it would allow me to see more of the world for the only time, you know, before I have to go back into the slog of being, you know, an American office worker. Now that didn't turn out that way. And what's funny is when I finished my degree, I had this weird feeling like, I'm not finished yet. You know, I need to stay a little bit longer. I want to stay in the UK. You know, I'd just become friends with a lot of really good friends that I still have right now. And I was like, you know, I want to move in with you and I want to stay a little bit longer and see what happens. So I went for a job and then I went for another job and then I went for another job. And now here I am, nearly at the indefinite leave to remain, nearly at the passport holding British person. So yeah, honestly, life just has a way sometimes. You don't plan for it. It just happens. I wasn't really stressing about it. I just let life take me where it took me. And I'm very happy with where I turned out. If you could bring one thing from America to the UK, what would it be? Honestly, whenever anyone asks me this question, I always answer it the same because it's true. Food. Wawa, a cheesecake factory maybe, just good food. The one thing that the UK just doesn't know how to do is good food, in my opinion. Now, you might be like moaning if you're British, like, oh, right, you know, a nice little roast dinner, little English breakfast. That was the worst accent I've ever done. Basically, those are all right, but everything kind of tastes very samey. It tastes like almost everything in the UK is made out of one solid block of bland, and in the US, everything's made out of sugar. Not necessarily sugar, but I don't know. I just feel like there's so many more options in the grocery store, when you want to buy out, like takeout. Everything's so much better in the US in terms of food, so I would just bring over the entire food industry. Does that count? Evan, I have 3 questions. Okay, getting 3 out of the way here. Would you ever visit Australia? Okay, what do you think of Doty's new music? Okay, are there any topics that you've never talked about in a video that you would like to? 1, would I ever visit Australia? I've done it twice, actually. I've done a lot in Australia, pretty extensively, all down the East Coast. If you want to check out the travel vlogs, there's probably a card somewhere on screen. I did a lot of crazy stuff there. It's been very fun. I loved Australia. 2, what do I think of Doty's new music? I really like Doty's new music because I really like how she's progressed as an artist, like not just stayed the same and been like, here's me, ukulele. Now it's like, boom, 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 boom. Name that. It's the best cover you ever heard of. Anything I've not talked about in a video that I'd like to? Honestly, I would have said yes, except I did a video on my friend Harmony's channel the other day as part of a collab, and as a lot of you have actually commented on that, I did talk about stuff that I never talk about on this channel. It was out of my comfort zone a little bit, but it was nice to do it. It was nice to open up a little bit, because normally I'm like, yeah, about certain topics. It's like, yeah. But yeah, if you want to watch that, like I said, we've got cards on screen. If you could live in any other country besides England, where would it be? Deutschland, naturally. Since I'm in my teenage years, I'm confused about what I'd like to do for a living in the future. Any advice? Honestly, don't stress so much, because life has a funny way of just changing on. Try and live as much as you can in the present, because that is the most fun you're going to have. It's the best present you can give to your future. That's fine. Do you have any advice for job hunting when you're young, 18 to 20? And do you have any interview techniques that have worked for you that might be useful? Love your channel. Thank you, O'Neill. Appreciate that. Yes, actually, I do. It depends on what type of job you're going for. If you're going for the standard retail jobs / waitressing, waitering jobs, just apply to as many places as you can. Obviously, if you're going to waiter jobs, try and do the ones that are a bit more upscale money. If you're American, so you can get more tips. But if you're going for an office job as an 18 to 20-year-old, you don't really have much to go for, and the companies don't have much info on you. Your CV / resume isn't really gonna look that great. Try and beef that thing up. You know, put every type of accomplishment that would show that you're a good leader, that you are very self-motivated. Put stuff like that on there. Now, when it comes to interviews, I think the #1 problem people have with interviews is they put on a face. They put on some different version of themselves that they think is the person they want to be hired. So like, oh, hello, nice to meet you. I'm Evan. No. Don't do that. Just be yourself, as much as that's a scary sentence and no one knows what that really means. Do not pretend to be a better person of yourself. Might sound crazy, but when I go into interviews, I crack jokes with people. I say things that maybe are a little inappropriate, but the thing is, it's very obvious I'm being myself. I'm so confident in that interview. I come off very confident because I'm not putting on a face. And when people are interviewing you, they're not looking just for someone that meets the criteria of a good worker. They're looking for someone to work with, someone that they feel like they could pal around with at the company and it wouldn't be like annoying or weird to work with them. So if they see you for who you really are at the interview, they're going to be very much more acceptable to hiring you. So that's my number one tip. Be yourself, crack jokes, and be a cool bean. How do you get your sponsors? Have you ever reached out to companies, and what does the negotiation look like? So because I've been doing videos for so long, I have such a big stockpile of videos that brands will be like, oh, we like that type of thing. Let's try and get this guy to work with us. And I'll get loads of emails. And if I'm like, this is good, I like this company, then I'll be like, sure, I'm interested. Here's my manager. And I kind of shuffle it off. My manager do all the negotiation stuff, and then it's plopped on my plate for me to finally approve it if I'm still a big fan of the deal. Otherwise, I'll be like, no. Now, to be completely honest with you guys, I turn down like 90% of the brand deals that are offered to me because I just can't get behind them, and I think that's important because I've gotten deals, for instance, for a lot of money recently for an app that personally, I don't use. I know it's very popular at the moment, but I personally don't really like their advertising, and I didn't like the idea that they thought they could just buy me off and ask me to delete tweets that I've made about how I don't like them, which made me so uncomfortable. It was kind of like, hey, what if we give you a lot of money? We can just buy your authenticity. Absolutely not. And I just felt like it made me sick to my stomach a bit that they considered the fact that they could just pay me to make everyone like their app. That's not how I work, and I don't think I could safely just hold up my phone to you guys and be like, hey, you should follow me on this app that I don't actually care about. Yeah, you'll never have to worry about that type of thing from me. If I'm gonna work with an app or any type of company, it's gonna be something that I like or something that works with my channel and I'm a fan of. How do you style your hair? Oh, actually, all right, fine. Could have been a nice question there. It was like an honest question about how I style my hair, and then you had to put the laugh emoji in there. Fine, man. I shower my hair, I put structured paste in it, hair dry it up, and then put some matte clay on top. It's not the best, man. Don't cry laugh emoji me like that, man. How do you do everything? Work plus YouTube plus other stuff. Honestly, I'm just a very, very self-motivated person, and I'm addicted to the idea of streaks. Personal streaks. I have not missed a Sunday upload on this YouTube channel in over 5 years. That is a little personal streak. Not even talking about the Duolingo streaks or anything like that. Just on my YouTube channel. I love that streak. And actually, how do I do that? How am I able to do it? I just always prioritize the things that I know need to get done so I can make sure I do them every single week. Even this YouTube channel, for instance. Right now, you're watching this on a Sunday because today, right now, in a half hour, I have a huge house party with over 50 people coming to my house right now for a little not VidCon party that I'm throwing. There's a campfire. I spent all day cleaning the house and making sure it was ready and the garden's good and the campfire's ready. And yet, here I am filming a YouTube video because you gotta make sure you don't miss that Sunday upload, okay? Always make sure you've got the stuff you need to get done, and then have a nice time. There's already probably like 10 people downstairs, but this is my job. I take this very seriously and I love what I do, so, no complaints from me. Also, a very basic answer to your question, to-do lists really help. How long have you been learning German? Well, according to my Duolingo streak, 1,111 days. 1111. Now, I did take a semester in college, but that was just one of those courses that you take to boost your GPA up, to keep your scholarships, you know what I'm talking about. The language courses for me are very easy, so I literally just took that to get an easy A. And you only learn things like, hello, ich heiße Evan, ich mag pizza. So that didn't really count. So I'd say over 1,000 days. How did your parents react to you wanting to become a YouTuber and move to the UK? This is a funny question because there was no stage of my life where I wanted to become a YouTuber. I just did. And also it wasn't really called a YouTuber. It was just, I was making videos, I wanted to make people laugh. I had opinions I wanted to share on the internet, and I had a webcam, and I had passion. And so I did it. There was never any step where I was like, oh, I want to do that. I just did it, So I feel like if you're in that state where you're like, I'm thinking of doing that, do it. Stop planning it and just do it. Just go out there. You're gonna be bad at first, especially because everyone's bad when they make videos, and then you get better and better and better, and you develop a style the more you do it. Now, in terms of how my parents reacted to when I started making videos, I remember it not being quite positive at all. I believe my stepdad bullied me quite a lot for it. At one point, I spent a nice chunk of money, at least at the time, to buy a little camera so I could make better videos, and my stepdad yelled at me quite a lot for that, saying, oh, you should have bought a car. You're gonna waste all your money on this camera. You're not gonna be able to drive a camera to work. Look who's driving to work now, huh? Driving this camera all the way back. So follow your freaking dreams, okay? Don't let your parents tell you what to do in terms of what you want to do, okay? That was a hobby. It's always been a hobby. I love making videos, and now it pays the bills. So hopefully I can inspire someone. Make some videos, okay? If your parents don't approve of what you want to do with your life, get new parents. I'll be your daddy. Don't call me daddy. 3, 2, 1, make a pun out of the closest thing to your right. Honestly, I just cleaned my room for this house party. There's literally nothing to my right. There's a closets thing to my right. There's closets. Does that count? How did you get so proficient in the German language just by playing and learning on Duolingo? That seems unimaginable to me. It is absolutely amazing how much you can learn if you just commit a small amount of time every day to something, okay? I literally did 15 minutes to a half hour, sometimes even 5 minutes a day it's been over 3 years. If I wasn't at all proficient in German at this point, then I'd be a joke, okay? It's been 3 years. That's a lot of time to commit to something, even if it is only 15 minutes. Also, I haven't just been doing that. I mean, I'm reading books in German. I watched Dark on Netflix, really, really good. Deutschland 1983, which is a really good series on Netflix as well. I'm listening to Crow, German music. Oh, it's actually really good. Not ironic, I really like Crow. It's like German rap, and I'm like, oh yeah, meine Gang, meine Gang. I like it unironically. Also, I lived in Munich for like a month and a half, so that genuinely helped quite a lot. Do you have any hope for outrage/cancel culture ending? Or do you think it's just going to keep getting worse until we can't like anyone anymore? Oof, that is quite a deep question, honestly. I feel like, yeah, cancel culture is just going to keep getting bigger, but just know that as the pendulum swings that way, there are so many people that also are able to think for themselves out there on the other side. Maybe they're not as vocal about anything, but there's so many people out there that are not a fan of cancel culture and think it's all dumb anyway. So just know, you're not alone, okay? Would you ever get a tattoo? If yes, what would you get and why? I've been considering a tattoo for the last year or so. I was gonna get one while I was in Munich to like mark that part of my life like physically on my arm, but I couldn't get the design done in time. I have a friend of mine working on it, and she gave me some initial designs. I was like, these are so cool, but just tweak it. It is going on me permanently, so I wanna make sure it's perfect. So I'm working on it. You'll know when I get one, because I'll probably make a big video and be like, look at me. It's just gonna be a small wrist tattoo. I don't know. I'm really excited. Hope you're excited too. Bad pun. Would you ever come back to Canada? Absolutely. I did not know that Canadians were nicer than everyone said they were. They are so freaking nice. If you didn't know, I went to Canada 2 weeks ago and had a ball of a time in the Quebec province. It was amazing. I went sledge racing with dogs. I went and slept next to wolves. I got to see all these really crazy cool animals. I went skiing in Mont Tremblant. Quebec is absolutely beautiful as a province. I loved it. If you haven't checked out my travel vlogs from that trip, please do, because it is a good time. And other than that, I guess that's the end of today's Q&A. Thank you guys so much for stopping on by and checking it out for the old honest Q&A. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you guys next Sunday for what I got cooking up for you. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye. What a seamless outro. Time to take care of this house party.